So it's a laser eye flying wolf.
What do you mean?
So we have to. So the question is, it's like, what would lead to the creation of a laser eye flying wolf?
And that sounds useless.
I have to assume it's some like this. Obviously, it's to start with
Take
Jack
his word for
London,
it.
because anything involving fiction and wolves tends to revolve around Jack London. So I would say that the wolf that this was an experiment on was probably a wolf that was that is a scion of one of the wolves that Jack London had eventually tamed and brought back with him to wherever the heck it was he was living.
Okay.
So we'll start there because you have to be friendly to humans. I want to build that in there. But it was, it's discovered that wolves don't really take very well to their environment back in the lower 48, and it was determined that they should begin a more human-friendly breeding program, and so the wolves they brought in from Alaska to turn into a more friendly variant. They managed to get some good ones out of it, but there was one wolf. There was one wolf that was born with extra vertebrae. And extra vertebrae, and they thought, well, that's really weird because that shouldn't happen. But mutations and all that, depending on what it is that you crossbreed it with. I'm going to assume some sort of terrier. And so they,
didn't look like that.
Well, other than the fact that at the time it couldn't walk on all fours. But yeah, it looked roughly like what you're seeing in chat, which is a wolf with white socks on all four legs, a black body, a head encompassed in a circle.
What's that he's holding?
Don't even worry about it.
I am worried.
It is some sort of laser, and they decided that, well, a wolf with extra vertebrae, born carrying a laser gun, that's pretty rad. But we can't have a wolf walking around with just a laser gun. That's irresponsible. Plus, obviously, how are they going to hold the laser gun? So they tried mounting it to his back. They tried mounting it to his head. They tried mounting it to the side of his body, and they eventually figured out that if we could just replace one of his eyes, just one of his eyes with that laser gun, he could use that for like sighting and stuff. Like he could use it to tell distance and
sighting for his wolf thing.
Yeah, that
look like this.
Yeah, a lot like that. And
now, is that psychic energy or regular energy?
That's the funny thing.
Super energy.
That how a laser works, right?
I don't.
Okay, so it's excited photons that they bump into each other. I'm basing this on an article I just read 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Photons that can only make it through us. They get excited and then they bump into each other and then they go flying out, and that's why they all travel in a straight line, is because they're all the other ones get reflected back in, and the only way you can escape is by actually going out the middle. And so because photons have no mass, that means that you can create them from nothing.
Okay, yeah, no,
yeah.
I've played Minecraft. That's
exactly.
How it works.
So they realized that if they can hook the laser up in his eye, and a photon it weighs nothing, so it must come from nothing. All they have to do is just hook the laser up and see what happens. Perfect. And sure enough, the lasers just start firing out of his eye. Not both eyes, but just the one eye, because you wouldn't want to, that's the thing. If you get mods done, you don't get both your eyes done. You get one eye done first, and you get the other one done next. And they realized this is pretty cool. Can we make it fly? And somebody said sure, and went and got, these wings they'd been working on. They were trying to make cats fly, which would be pretty rad, but they realized it wasn't working. They're like, well, this wolf has extra vertebrae. Can't we just lock him into that? Nerves and all that, the way that the nerves work, and then it can just learn how to flap its wings.
Okay.
And so it's hard to operate on a wolf that has a laser eye because it doesn't stop firing. So after a few, marginally injured veterinarians did these operations, and they managed to get two of the wings on. It wasn't enough to achieve any sort of flight. So they figured, well, more wings means more flight. I mean, that's why biplanes fly. They just added another set of wings, another set of kitty wings, and decided that, okay, that's not really getting anywhere either. So then they put the kitty wings on the end of the other kitty wings. They're like, wait, so if we have wings upon wings, we just make big, long wings instead of like 4 wings.
Very involved origin story.
Absolutely.
That is very.
And then that, basically, they took it out running by the ocean and taught it to fly. And it was very much like that ending scene in Chaganaska's On Your Mark. That was solely for Alex and a bit for Ian.
All right.
I'm the only person who gets that.
No one else
You got
gets that.
That was literally the equivalent of a really specific Shaggy
Oh.
story.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Oh, man.
Shaggy Dog
Yeah.
story.
That was a good
Okay,
show.
wait.